Chia Network is making progress towards their IPO. Now, this is one of the few cryptocurrency projects that are a for-profit project ran by businessmen that are trying to get this to an IPO stage. So what's intriguing about this is, look, that means that they really do want Chia on their books. They want the token on their books in case an IPO is hit. Also, then you've got the question of how well are they going to behave with all their holdings. So there's like an interesting concept here. But what I love about Chia is the founder. The founder is the creator of BitTorrent. If you don't know what BitTorrent is, you probably are either too old or too young. Before I get into that, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what the spreadsheet is, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these coins. If you'd have done the same, if you'd have popped $100 into them when I released the videos, you'd gotten in around these prices. If you sat on them for 16 months, you'd have been able to sell at these prices, and this is what your profit would have been. So if you'd done 100 into each, your total profit in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand. That is a house nearly in a year, well, year and a half. You only get that in crypto. Now, we're in a bull cycle right now. If you don't have your portfolio sorted, head over to copymycrypto.com, have a read through that site. That's the site I run where I share my portfolio with my members. I've got thousands of members, and you'll see on the site profits that they've made. That's why we have thousands of members. And this year is going to be no different. We're already in a bull cycle. Profits are going to be had. And all the way it works is that I share the coins that I own. Whenever I add to my portfolio with a new coin, my members find out what coin and at what price I'm going to buy it. Same when I sell. So the members make the exact same profit but have no work to do at all. If you are looking to wait 2 or 3 months to sort your portfolio out, it's probably going to be too late. Now is the time to do something about it. And if you have a read at copymycrypto.com, I think you'll realize it's a site that can help you out, guys. Now, Chia. So Chia is a layer 1 that uses its own its own custom signed programming language called Chia Lisp. I'm particularly not a fan of that. I think from a developer standpoint, make the programming language the easiest thing and the simplest thing for people, something that they're already familiar with. When it's a new programming language, developers have more work to do, because if they want to develop with you, they've got to learn the programming language before they can crack on. Most people want to just get going. So making it the programming language accessible to all should always be the first thing that anyone does when they're creating a blockchain, because it gives you a better opportunity of growth. They have a good consensus mechanism called proof of space and time. The combination of these two allow the blockchain to use less energy without compromising network security. Chia Network is a public, for-profit, open source company that aspires to become listed on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. I think they have a very good shot of that based on the people involved in this project. And its blockchains are aimed at enterprise use, which is why Chia Network plans to have the token on its balance sheet in case of a listing, in case of an IPO. So the thing I wanted to show you, so the founder is Bram Cohen. Bram Cohen is the founder of BitTorrent. BitTorrent is one of the biggest file sharing platforms of all time, probably the biggest. Well, not even probably the biggest. So his resume in terms of development is outstanding. The project's headed by a senior management team, including former NASDAQ CEO Gene Hoffman as the Chief Operating Officer, and the former Overstock CEO Mitch Edwards, who's the CFO. Now, just to put into context, you've got the former NASDAQ CEO as your COO. So when you're looking at trying to get listed as an IPO, when you're trying to get listed on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, having someone that was previously the CEO gives you an immense chance of that happening. They're also backed by huge VCs. They actually raised $61 million in May of 2021 with huge participation from Andreessen Horowitz, Slow Ventures, Naval Ravikant, Galaxy Digital, and a few others. Like I said, they've got proof of stake. They improve on proof of stake and proof of work with proof of space and proof of time. Proof of space requires miners to keep unused storage on their hard disks. In this scenario, miners install special software that allocates free space, which is then used to solve a challenge, similarly to how proof of work works. And they have proof of time, which demonstrates the passage of time through the blockchain, similar to how Solana kind of works. And the time lords are the nodes that document the time and ensure that time is correctly documented for solving the proof of space functions. Now, they have said that Chia Lisp takes on the important components of Ethereum, Solidity, Bitcoin Core, but they keep Bitcoin's UTXO model. I understand that they're trying to sort of sell that as this makes it easier for developers. I just don't think it was I don't think it's necessary to create your own programming language. I think you're giving yourself more work to do in the future because you're going to have to create more to simplify it for any developer that wants to work. In terms of who they have been working with so far, a number of them are climate-based or like social good, whatever you want to call them, projects. But a lot of it's to do with carbon data or climate data. But it can be built and used for anything. There's a good very good premise here. Enterprise-wise is obviously their focus. The question, I suppose, is going to be, can they share the enterprises that are going to jump on board? If they can, then this could do very well. Supply chain, there's huge areas that within the real world that need disrupting, that need improving. Supply chain is one of them, but obviously you're competing with people like VeChain on that, projects like VeChain. Chia Network have made progress towards an IPO, the CEO has said. The cryptocurrency company saw their IPO plans derailed last year because of financial woes at Credit Suisse. But the company confidentially filed an amended S1 form with the US SEC at the end of March after the regulator sent a comment letter to the CEO, Gene Hoffman, and said at a conference hosted by law firm Brown Rudnick. However, there is still no firm timeline for the IPO since the company wants to wait for the right market conditions. Very interesting. They're also planning to roll out a bridge for Circle's USDC stablecoin, which obviously gives huge money that can come into the Chia chain. There's potential here. And when you actually look at a couple of key factors, right now, volume's okay. I wouldn't say great. I wouldn't say it's ever been too great. But it is worth noting what can happen. If an IPO happens, there is an immense amount of money in the traditional finance sector that can go into Chia. Or into Chia Network or the company behind. If that happens, we would see an immense surge in the volume that's going into Chia on the centralized exchanges. People would start investing in Chia way, way more. That would then open up the doors for potential listings, because right now it's not on Binance, it's not on Coinbase. But if they are an IPO, there is a high likelihood you would see them land on Coinbase. There is a high likelihood you could see them land on Binance, and then all of a sudden you've got a huge bounce, a double bounce from a Binance listing and from a Coinbase listing. It would not be a shock if they get the IPO. The key thing is they get the IPO. Now, Chia, I don't think, is getting back to its previous highs, or certainly I think it's highly improbable that it's going to get to its previous highs, because its previous high was $1,900. I don't think that's happening. I think a fair target is basically about $300. That's where a ton of the volume was when we were at the peak of the bulls, like the second wave of the bull cycle in 2021. Because then, since then, price action has flatlined. In fact, it's kind of not gotten worse, really, if anything. So I think the price action is quite worrying. I think the best case scenario here is $300, and that's if they get an IPO and if they get a listing on Binance or a Coinbase. Without an IPO, I think there's no chance it goes on Binance or Coinbase, because I don't see how the volume's going to all of a sudden miraculously recover unless there's huge companies that start working with them. Then realistically, you know, we might not even see $100 per coin if there's no IPO listing. That's got to be their big job, because that brings in tons of money in traditional markets, that brings in tons of money in crypto, that brings in the listings. But it needs the listings to hit even get back to $300. I think it's going to struggle, in all honesty. But we'll see. It's also going to depend on the enterprises that work with them. For Chia, they need a huge amount of money that they can push to developers for building projects. They need to onboard enterprises, and they need an IPO. Otherwise, I think price action is going to struggle. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And guys, if you want to make the same profits as me in this bull cycle, all you have to do is join up at copymycrypto.com. That's the site I run where I share my entire portfolio. If you were to join today, you would see every coin I own. Whenever I add to that with new coins, I let my members know what coins I'm adding at what price. So there is no work for my members at all. They get in on coins at the same price. They get out of coins at the same price. We're in a bull cycle, and if you do not have a portfolio sorted, now's the time to do something about it, because if you're going to wait 2 months, is going to be too late. Now, go on to copymycrypto.com. You'll see what my members have earned. We're now in a bull cycle. This year is going to be no different. There are thousands of members on the site for a reason. So check it all out and try out the service, guys, because you want your portfolio sorted before these markets start ripping. And that's it from me. Have a good day. Bye-bye.